What's up, everyone? I'm going to be talking today about deaths in astrology. This is Cassius Methel, of course. I'm going to be talking about deaths in astrology today. This is, well, depending on how you view death, this may sound like a grim topic, but as a preface to this, I just like to say death should not be grim because it's a fact of life, and I believe, that death is the root of all fear in life. I think that if you overcome a fear of death, then the rest of your random anxieties and fears can fade. If you've been in life and death situations, you know exactly what I mean. So, deaths in astrology. When a person dies, they go through an astrological epoch. An epoch is an angle in an era in astrology for a particular individual, where every planet at once, or multiple planets at once, touch the person's planets in their chart. Now, all events in a person's life happen because the angles of the planets in the sky at a given time, at any given time, make angles to the person's soul. The planets at any time make angles to the person's planets at their time of birth. The code for any event in any person's life is the angles made to the planets then and the planets in that person's chart. So say Neptune were at 13 degrees Pisces and the person's sun were at 13 degrees Pisces. That would be Neptune currently aligned with his sun. That's how that works. So, in an epoch, when someone dies, multiple planets at once align with the planets in someone's birth chart, or they make angles to the planets in someone's birth chart. If you notice, if you look at the charts of people when they die, and their birth charts, you'll notice that the planets are in a lot of the same positions as they are when they were born. This is kind of like what we call God taking the soul back from the body by making the planets touch all the other planets in the person's chart. So I looked at the death chart of Tupac the other day, and when Tupac died, Quasar, Ixion, and Pluto, and Nessus and Ceres, the 5-planet 1996 5-dwarf planet conjunction, was aligned with his Jupiter and Neptune. One significant thing that I don't think any other astrologers have even noticed is that when a person dies, they will often have the outer, higher-powered dwarf planets like Quasar, Ixion, Nessus, Eris, Sedna, all aligned with planets in that person's birth chart. So when Michael Jackson died, Sedna was conjunct his Mars. Saturn is another major factor in death charts. Saturn was conjunct his Ceres. Pluto was conjunct his Orcus. Some dwarf planet was conjunct his Saturn, and Eris was conjunct his south node. So these outer dwarf planets make conjunctions to the planets in someone's birth chart when they die. If there's an era of your life coming up where all the planets touch your planets at once, it doesn't mean you're going to die, but it means that it's a significant epoch in your life. So what an epoch is an era of time where all the planets touch all your planets at the same time. For instance, Neptune sextiles your natal Mercury, Sedna conjoins your natal Mars, the outer planet Eris aligns with your sun, the sun of your birth chart. All these outer planets and inner planets conjoin your planets at the same time. This epoch, it doesn't mean that you're going to die, but it means that something is going to change in your life forever. And it means that the energy of that epoch is not just one transit, it sticks with you. If you have an epoch, maybe like 4 planets making angles to your planets all at once, but mostly conjunctions. The hallmark of an epoch are multiple conjunctions at once. So if 2 planets can join two of your planets at once, and then they make an angle to each other in the sky on your planets, that's part of an epoch. That could be an epoch. So I just went through an epoch. Jupiter was aligned with my moon in Leo last month. When Jupiter was at 20 degrees Leo, making a trine to Uranus at 20 degrees Aries, I feel like that could have been an epoch for me. And right now, the energy from Jupiter trine Uranus is still going on with me. It's not stopping. And it's already 6 degrees off of my natal moon now. So I still feel it. So in an epoch, when these planets all conjoin your planets at once, the energy of these planets may stick with you for months or maybe a year or two after the transit. An epoch in which you die means the energy was so intense for you. Either you died and that was just because the energy was too intense, or because, you know, it was your time to die. I believe in fate, and I believe that you have a time that is for you to die, and I believe that it's coded into fate. So I believe that when you're about to die, or when you're born, you know, it's predetermined when you're going to die and when everything is going to happen. I don't think that you can determine what is predetermined. I don't think that you can see, you know, when you're going to die. I don't think you can predict death very easily. You could, possibly, but I think there's a law of the universe where you shouldn't be able to predict such things as death, because that's too much. The universe, or as you may call the universe God, probably doesn't want you to know how to predict death. This is something that is factually observable, because frequently when people try to predict things like this that aren't meant to be, they don't happen. Maybe they would have happened if they wouldn't have predicted it. So, epochs. When you die, multiple planets can join your planets at the same time and make angles to your planets. If you are going through an era of time where two planets make an angle in the sky, a collective angle, and they're both on points that are in your chart as planets, you know, two planets make a trine to each other or square to each other, both on two planets in your chart that trine or square each other or whatever, that could be an epoch. And if that happens to you, that energy could stick with you for long after the transit. So, I hope this has been useful to you. Please share this with as many people as possible. Check out the links in the description of this video to my YouTube or to my Facebook group, Tryptamine Astrology and True Mysticism. Check out my website for my list of services and buy a reading from me. You know, I do 30-page natal chart readings for $30. I do master natal chart readings for $100. I do everything. I can do anything in astrology, predict the future, literally, and, you know, I can do anything. So, hit me up. Much love. Peace.